banning in-race tyre changes. Ferrari and Bridgestone were caught out by the
banning in-race tyre changes? What? What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video, and today we're going to take a look for the first time at what some consider one of the best cars all time in Formula One. One that was recommended to me a bunch of times as a car that I should take a look at, or a car that will be a monument to sort of the fastest era of F1 and was driven by one of the fastest guys in F1 in history, Michael Schumacher. It is the Ferrari F2004. Now, I know jack shit about the F2004. I don't know anything really about the Ferrari team. I know a bit about Michael Schumacher. I think he won, what, 5 or 6 titles in a row? 5 titles in a row. But I'm not sure this was his car that he won the 5 titles with, because 2005, 2006 was won by Renault. Right? Fernando Alonso? I'm spinning at this rate. But anyway, let me know you guys' thoughts on the Ferrari 2004 and the car so good it shocked the Ferrari F1 team. Let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video down in the description below. Almost stopped there. Almost stopped.
Ferrari's F2003 GA often gets forgotten among the great cars Michael Schumacher drove while dominating Formula One in the early 2000s. Sitting between the dominant 2002 and 2004 cars, the 03 machine made heavy weather of a title fight that boiled down to a showdown with the McLaren of Kimi Raikkonen, which was effectively a year-old car. That served as a wake-up call to Ferrari, and the following year's F2004 was one of the greatest F1 cars of all time. But when it first hit the track, even Ferrari couldn't believe what it was seeing.
But like, the thing is, how do you get surprised by that? Like, you are the engine, you are the creators of this. Like, you are, I mean, obviously a car that it can all come together when you put the perfect driver in the perfect conditions in the perfect car, and maybe that can surprise you. But you have to have some high expectations for a vehicle of your creation. Well, Ferrari is Ferrari, you know.
After shaking the car down at Fiorano, Ferrari took the F2004 to Imola, where it could be tested back-to-back against its predecessor. The team's simulations, admittedly not as sophisticated as they are today, suggested the new car should be half a second faster, but Schumacher was already lapping 2 seconds quicker. Rather than patting themselves on the back for the car being so fast, Ferrari's engineers were convinced something was wrong. The first assumption was that the car was underweight, presumably because the mechanics had forgotten to put the ballast in. Once that was ruled out, Ferrari began a 12-hour investigation into what could possibly have gone wrong to cause such a big gap between the two cars.
Speak of skepticism. Why are you hating on your own car so much? Just let it be quick.
While this was going on, a beaming Schumacher was insistent that the pace was real, and the F2004 was just that good. More back-to-back tests of the 2003 car were arranged for the following day.
I hate the Marlboro part, but it's
Ferrari
gorgeous.
tried to outsmart itself to work out what was going on. But all those tests showed was that on long runs the car was even better, stretching its advantage over the course of a stint. When Rubens Barrichello tested the car for the first time at Mugello, Ferrari remained convinced something must be up. The Brazilian remembers the team even wondering if there was a problem with the timing equipment. But, like Schumacher, he knew the speed was real. He says the F2004 was the only car that ever allowed him to take Mugello's fearsome Arrabbiata corners flat out. So what made the F2004 so great? Rob Smedley, who was head of test engineering at the time, believes it was the first car designed around modern era F1 engineering, using new wind tunnel techniques, with Ferrari focusing on one particular area of the corner where it wanted to extract the most performance. Designer Rory Byrne is credited with being a superb big picture thinker, who was good at identifying the areas worth the most effort while being willing to spend less time on other parts of the car. Aldo Costa, who went on to enjoy phenomenal success with Mercedes in recent years, was tasked with focusing on the finer details of Bernd's ideas. The focus of the two...
Can I just say, looking at like pictures and listening to people talk about cars like this, it makes me wish I would have like gone into engineering. It really does, because you could just feel how much like love and thought and sweat and brain power was put into every single little aspect, whether it was a certain bolt going this way, a certain engine piece, getting drag resistance off of this thing, like that type of stuff blows my mind. It actually does blow my mind, and I love it. And that's why I love F1 fans, is because not like you're passionate about the sport in itself, like the sporting aspect, seeing the cars race and go, but also the intricate details to every little part of it. Like, it's something that's not thought about in US sports. Like, it's called the grind necessarily. Like, you can see athletes putting in the work for this, and this, but people don't appreciate or think about the little details for things like this. The same way F1 fans, drivers, engineers, teams do. Like, there's thousands and thousands of people involved in this process, but like, if you look at sporting organizations, they're usually behind the scenes. They don't even think about it. They don't even think about those people. F1, they are known, they are appreciated, they are brought to the light for that. It's amazing. It's Red Bull especially.
2004 design
Red Bull
was to lower the
especially are
centre
big
of
for
gravity and improve weight distribution, while the bodywork, radiators and exhaust were redesigned to improve airflow to the rear of the car. Costa believes the F2004 was the result of a big effort from Ferrari to understand more about tyre behaviour, working on suspension, car setup, aerodynamics and vehicle dynamics to get the most out of the tyres. By this point, Ferrari was the only top team still running Bridgestone tyres, and it forged a formidable relationship with the Japanese company. Ferrari pushed for Bridgestone to constantly evolve its tyres to suit the team's needs, and to deliver changes quicker than it had in the past. With only Sauber plus backmarkers Jordan and Minardi also running Bridgestones, Ferrari effectively became the company's sole focus. Once it knew the F2004's pace was real, Ferrari could have rested on its laurels, and some figures from the team at the time admit that was discussed. But under the leadership of Jean Todt, total domination was demanded. Smedley recalls team members hanging their heads in shame in front of Todt on a Monday morning at Maranello if Ferrari came home from a Grand Prix with anything other than a 1-2, and both championships were inevitably wrapped up early.
Really?
Ferrari's cause that year was helped by its two biggest rivals from 2003, McLaren and Williams, dropping the ball with their radical designs for 04. And it was only once the championship fight was over that those two teams had reworked their cars and turned them into race winners. The Ferrari-Schumacher bubble burst the following year, with rule changes for 2005 banning in-race tyre changes. Ferrari and Bridgestone were caught out by the...
Banning in-race tyre changes? What? Can you imagine that in today's car? Can you imagine that? That'd be so dumb. That'd be so stupid.
The move, which Ross Brawn believes to this day was designed to bring an end to their success.
Kinda sounds like it.
Ferrari didn't win a proper race all season, with Schumacher winning the embarrassing 6-car USGP, as Fernando Alonso and Renault brought an end to 5 years of unprecedented dominance in F1.
I like this video. I really do like this video because it kind of does go into detail about how Ferrari sort of capped off their peak dominance with Schumacher, but also why it ended, which is so cool. I actually really like that. But okay, let me know what you guys think about the video down in the comments below. If you guys want to see more sort of in-depth videos on F1 stuff like this, mainly me learning about F1 history and the cars involved in it, let me know in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.